I get a little romantic about the mobile application at times, and it even the ideas of what you could do preceded the mobile application. So, like one story was I always dreamed if I were at a trade show, I would want to scan somebody's badge, click a couple buttons, and right as soon as that happened, the order would land in NetSuite. I could fulfill it, I could ship it to you, and by the time you got home from the trade show, I'd be the first package on the door. And I felt that that was a powerful message, and always wanted to
It
build the
is.
tools to be able to facilitate that. So we had that opportunity, and when I mentioned we did this trade show, we wanted to show the power of both NetSuite and the applications. And so when somebody walked up, we'd scan their badge, we'd, hit a button, and then boom, it hit NetSuite, an email workflow would trigger, it would land right there. We'd say, check your email. And it was the first taste of the type of power that you can have with a single event leading to all those other things that, differentiate. So, with the mobile app, and one of the things about it, which I mean, I don't want to turn into talking all about the mobile app, but being somebody who's not writing code and thinking about the users, one of the most important pieces was when my developer said, well, what do you want the screen to look like? And what do you want the form to look like? And typical dev type of stuff, right? And I said, well, I don't really know yet, but I will. And I might change my mind. And I didn't want to be a burden to our developers to say, oh, you got to go back, make a revision. So I said, why don't we just give me the capability to create my own thing, change what I want. And if I change my mind, I don't need to bother you. I can just do it then. So, I jokingly say it's one of the only times that indecision and procrastination leads to innovation.
Yeah.
But I do believe that it really did because now we've got this capability where it doesn't matter what record you want to interact with. You can configure your own function. You can choose all the fields you want to put down. And then all you got to do is scan and the data pops in and you can make changes and post it back. And it really is a pretty impressive tool. Probably the hardest part about it is all the ways it could be used have yet to be fully defined, right? It's like, I've sat there and said I could be in real estate and I go pull up a home, take a bunch of photographs, post that to the record, and we're good. Or I could be on a production floor and scan where something is and I update the system. It's like, tracking wherever it is, walking around the particular when it's being produced. So it really, we do refer to it internally as kind of the Swiss Army knife for the DIY because it doesn't really have much limitations to what you can do with it.
So if that's the case, I'm going to challenge you, Sam and Dean.
Okay.
So let's imagine I'm an e-commerce merchant, right? I'm not a manufacturer. I'm an e-commerce merchant. How can I benefit from a solution? Like, what's the problem that you're going to solve for me with a solution like that, right? With a solution of having NetSuite in my pocket, basically.
Well, I could think of 100 use cases, but I'll try one and you can tell
Beautiful.
me if it'll work. So I'm an e-commerce merchant, which means I got a ton of orders flying in, or at least we hope we have a ton of orders flying in. And maybe I use 3PLs, maybe I use a fulfillment house. These types of apps will allow them to pull up whatever purchase orders or things that need to be fulfilled. Um, and with the mobile application, essentially, you could, scan a particular order, generate shipping documents on a cloud-based printing solution, and then and from my account, right? Like I don't care who's fulfilling. You can use my shipping account to generate the shipping documents, my packing materials, all my messaging is exactly the way I want it. All the shipping and tracking information is taken the immediately directly rather than waiting for a third party to tell me what shipped, how it shipped, and what the tracking numbers are. So by using this app, you can have workers anywhere basically reporting directly back to the mothership and cutting out all those steps that occur through emails, integrations, or any of that, because they become a direct fulfillment arm of your organization. So I don't know if that hits the target on one of the potential ways to use it, but
Yeah, and I definitely can see the Swiss Army in action there, right? Because you're extending NetSuite a full lot and giving as much potential.